I'm running from the cops. Oh, I'm running from the cops. But they're running like they do in like 70s cop dramas. So I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I'm safe. Oh, damn. Upon this desolate stretch of track, we have a cool old train car. So I might be able to get closer, but nay to the trespassing. But yeah, this is cool. I don't know how old this train car is, but it's kind of just sitting here for a reason. Now, it's really cool that this streetcar, which is what this is, it's it's an old car from a streetcar, so it has that passenger car look to it. It's significant that that's here along these particular stretch of tracks. Now I'm going to walk a little ways down here and show you why. Now, a long time ago, when streetcars were the in thing, there were several car barns in the Portland metropolitan area because they'd have a place to put these streetcars when they weren't running, in the middle of the night. And as far as I've been able to gather, there were 8 of those in total scattered around town. There's officially only 2 places where there are remains of these old car barns. This is awesome. Got 2 of them right here. And then you look down here, switch track, because there are a lot of them. But yeah, if you go, I believe down Burnside, it's actually right next to the Laurelhurst Theater. There's the only actual car barn building that's still existing. But here I am. I'm in Milwaukie right now. In fact, if you want to see something cool, I'm currently in the town of Milwaukie. Now I'm in Portland. Anywho, I'm in Sellwood. It's the edge border of Sellwood. Directly behind me, where this kind of sprawling apartment complex now stands, this is where Sellwood's car barn actually stood. However, there was not only a car barn located right over here, there was also a clubhouse. That was what it was called. For all of the, workers to rest, gather, play cards, use the restroom, take a break. And that building's still here, right behind me. Like so many other older buildings that have, outlived their initial purpose, this place has been restructured into sort of an office type structure. But if you look at it, the kind of long brick structure, railroad line right next to it, this has a very strong railroad vibe to it. And if you look at old pictures, you got the car barn right here, and then you look right behind it, right where this apartment is, and that's where the car barn was located. And it seems bit by bit this line is just kind of being more or less disconfigured, forgotten, unused, as a lot of rail lines have been in this area. But yeah, I believe this building was built around 1910, and yeah, it was just a place for the workers to gather. They were constantly working, and this was kind of near the end of the line, leaving Portland, since again we're right on the Portland border. And yeah, I believe this stayed primarily in conjunction with the streetcar system, and then it ultimately got, I think, like the forestry service or something like that owned it at one time. And then, you know, like so many old buildings, it sat vacant for a while and was ultimately repurposed, and it's still sitting here. And what I actually really like, because I love it when buildings do this, or at least people who own buildings do this, I love that they haven't done a bunch of excessive restructuring. It keeps it looking really cool the way it should be, and it doesn't ruin its historic continuity. I can't tell you the number of buildings that have lost historical significance in the city of Portland because someone just completely restructured the thing to make it look completely different, and so it's just essentially a newer building built on an old foundation. And I'm now walking away from the clubhouse because I want to show you another little spot. Now, even though the actual car barn was demolished quite some time ago, a little piece of it did stay behind for a while. A block east of the old clubhouse, and again, the car barn was right along where these places were. I'm at, I believe this is 13th Avenue. Yeah, it crosses over into Waverly here. But yeah, right along here where this fence line now is, the wall, the back wall of the car barn remained here up until only about 5 years ago. They actually kept the original part of the back wall here. And then after keeping it there as a memento, they ultimately decided the hell with it and got rid of it anyway. And I get a feeling it was probably some of these Sellwood people that lived here who were probably like, I don't want that thing next to my house. It obstructs my view or some shit. Sellwood people. And then you look across the street, you've got this piece of awesomeness. And certainly while my focus in this video is on, you know, the remains of the Sellwood car barn and clubhouse, I mean, we've got an old substation, 1905. It says, if you can read up there, OWP and RY Co. Now that stood for Oregon Water, Power, and Railroad Company. And this is a substation built in 1905. This building is 112 freaking years old. And I'm just walking right up to it. I want to say there was fencing here. I don't remember being able to get this close. But I mean, this is so awesome. But I love just how it's like they wanted to go real creepy with it. It's all dirty up there. Obviously graffiti they've had to remove. Wonder what's going on up in there. Is this door open? I don't think so. Well, thank you for coming along with me on this little short trek. I just wanted to show you the old clubhouse over there. I think it's real cool. Again, there's only one full car barn that's still remaining over on Burnside. But in most cases, I think if there was any quarters for the workers to be in, it was like part of the barn or something like that. This is one of the only ones that had like an actual other building attached to it for the workers to, railroad workers to hang out in, and it's still there. After all these years, with all the stuff they're tearing down around here, it's really good to still see that here, and with a purpose. So, all that said, my fellow adventurers, this has been Steve, the Amateur Historian, and I'll see you next time.